ความแม่นยำความน่าเชื่อถือและการยอมรับด้วยเครื่องมือที่ทันสมัยและครบวงจรที่สุดของไทยสร้างความมั่นใจผ่านใบรับรองคุณภาพ GIT Gem and Jewelry
By purpose, achieving global recognition, GIT commits to elevate the standards of Thailand's gem and jewelry industry towards becoming a global trading hub. For more than 3 decades, GIT has established itself as a leader in the research, testing and certification of gemstones, jewelry and precious metals. Backed by skilled professionals and laboratories accredited to the ISO IEC 17025 international standard, GIT operates in accordance with ISO guidelines to ensure precision, credibility and worldwide recognition. With Thailand's most advanced and fully integrated gemological instruments, GIT builds trust through its highly respected GIT Gem and Jewelry Certificate. GIT plays a key role in developing professional skills, empowering entrepreneurs, and strengthening global competitiveness through the GIT Training Center, with various comprehensive range of programs, including the FGA, Gemologist Diploma Program from Gemological Association of Great Britain, a globally recognized credential in the gem and jewelry industry. Additional training courses span all core competencies, with several programs officially accredited by the Thailand Professional Qualification Institute, TPQI, ensuring industry-aligned and nationally recognized professional development. The GIT Knowledge Center serves as a premier self-learning platform, home to one of Asia's most comprehensive collections of gem and jewelry resources. With the GIT e-library and a fully immersive 360 degrees virtual museum, it provides a new perspective on gemological education. GIT places strong emphasis on research and innovation that deliver real-world impact. Key initiatives include the development of a standardized colored gemstone grading system, the integration of AI technologies to enhance gemstone authentication and analysis. GIT's proprietary standards, such as the GIT standard, have become key drivers in building international credibility and enhancing the global competitiveness of Thailand's gem and jewelry sector. Recognizing that trust is the key to purchasing decisions, GIT has introduced the Buy with Confidence initiative, providing verified gemological reports that assure both consumers and businesses of product quality and integrity. GIT also nurtures creativity and entrepreneurship through the Jewelry Concept Store by GIT, a dedicated space to showcase innovative designs and empower local SMEs in the jewelry sector. GIT is steadfast to drive the sustainable growth of Thailand's gem and jewelry industry through the core mission of elevating Thai craftsmanship to the international marketplace. GIT actively organizes and supports domestic trade exhibitions to expand market access and business networks, alongside the implementation of well-defined, results-oriented initiatives that deliver measurable impact. With a clear vision for long-term sustainable success, GIT stands firmly alongside Thailand's gem and jewelry industry, driving it forward toward global leadership in trade, innovation and production. Creating trust and excellence. The Gem and Jewelry Institute of Thailand, public organization.
ขอเสียงประมือกับ VTR ของเราด้วยค่ะ So please give a big round of applause for our VTR from GIT. And a very good afternoon, distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Cha and I will be your MC for today. And of course, welcome back everyone to GIT seminar, one of the session of Bangkok Gems and Jewelry Fair 2025. And for the afternoon session, we have the keynote speaker and the experts of the gems and jewelry industry who going to be going on the stage and share the fruitful presentation for all of you guys and for today. ซึ่งสำหรับวันนี้นะคะต้อนรับทุกท่านค่ะเข้าสู่ช่วงกิจกรรมของเราในช่วงพาร์ทบ่ายนะคะอยู่กันที่งานของเราค่ะสำหรับในส่วนของ GIT สัมมนานะคะซึ่งเป็นพาร์ทของ Bangkok Gems and Jewelry Fair 2025 ค่ะซึ่งสำหรับการจัดงานในครั้งนี้นะคะสำหรับส่วนของ GIT สัมมนาก็คือจัดโดยสถาบันวิจัยและพัฒนาอัญมณีและเครื่องประดับแห่งชาติองค์การมหาชนค่ะซึ่งสำหรับช่วงพาร์ทบ่ายนี้ค่ะวันนี้เราได้รับเกียรติจากผู้รู้นะคะซึ่งถือว่าเป็นกูรูในแวดวงของ อุตสาหกรรมอัญมณีและเครื่องประดับค่ะที่จะมาแชร์ในเรื่องของข้อมูลที่เป็นประโยชน์กับทุกท่านอย่างแน่นอนด้านบนเวทีในช่วงพาร์ทบ่ายวันนี้ค่ะ and for the afternoon session we have the title from lab to market how machine learning assists in detecting treatments in gemstone that we have the keynote speakers so join me in welcoming Mr. ชเนนการจักรวาลวิบูลย์ He is the head of gem tasting laboratory from NGG Enterprise and the other one please join me in welcoming Mr. ทัศนราศรีปุ้นจันทร์ Lab Manager GID Laboratories on the stage please วันนี้ได้รับเกียรติจากทั้งสองท่านนะคะซึ่งคุณชเนนกันนะคะเป็นหัวหน้าห้องปฏิบัติการตรวจสอบอัญมณีจาก NGG Enterprise ค่ะและอีกหนึ่งท่านค่ะคุณทัศนราศรีปุ้นจันทร์นะคะก็เป็นผู้จัดการห้องปฏิบัติการ GID Laboratories ค่ะตอนนี้พร้อมแล้วค่ะขอเสียงปรบมือให้กับวิทยากรของเราด้วยค่ะ so please give a big round of applause for our speakers please
Okay, slide please. Okay. Good afternoon. Before I start the presentation, I have some question in this room. Who is the gemologist? Drew? Drew, okay.
I lost.
I waste 10, about 10 persons. Why we don't have the much more gemologists? And the machine learning can replace us or not? I think we have some answers in this presentation that will show you how the machine learning can replace us or not. Okay?
Okay. Let me start with the first slide of the presentation. Okay, we will start with the introductions that involve about the treatment and why the treatment important to the trade, the methods used for testing, and we go deep in the machine learning applications. And many people know about the artificial intelligence or AI, how different or what different between the machine learning and the AI. So we'll be discover some kind of the examples. We use the machine learning in the real applications, and then we will explain how and where we plug the machine learning into the lab workflow. Then we'll have some of the summary. So this will be comprehensive, the outline we will talk today. So, okay.
So, I will start first, okay?
Yep.
About the treatment. Maybe I'm a represent from the old school gemologists. They use about the microscope and the advanced instrument, something like that. Why we must to treatment the gemstone? Because it's not all the gemstone or the ruby or the sapphires that can be used as a gems. We want to improve it before we use. But the point of the treatment is improve, not only about the improve, must to have about the durability. If it's gone, its color is gone, no ways. The value is go down. That is wise. So, how about the treatment that we have today? Is have a many kind of the treatment. For example, the irradiation. The some stone that we confirm, we accept it. It can be irradiation, such as topaz, the colorless topaz. Would you buy it? No, the blue topaz is beauty than the colorless one. So, in the nature, we can find it or not for about the blue topaz. Yes, we can find, but it's very rare one. So we accept about the irradiation. The next, right, diffusion. Yes, it's have a story of it. We hit it with some element and shade about the color. The wet gas filling, okay, I have a story of it. The coating, yes, is a treatment that I hate it because it's not make it, it's more beauty. For me, in my opinion, especially about the mystic topaz, mystic quartz. Okay, fracture filling or resin in the emerald on the polymer inside, heat treatment, flux enhanced, barium and dried. First, okay, we're talking about the heat treatment. I think a heat treatment is the first treatment that gemologists must have the experience on it. Why we heat it? Because we want to improve the color and the quality of it. Right? Wow, how we know it's heated? It's have an inclusion that can tell us, for example, the beating in the blue sapphire from the Kanchanaburi, and the attention that happened in the internal crystal inclusion. And sometimes we frown about the pellet that's have about the dew raster in the Mozambique ruby. Okay. Another story is about the flux enhanced heating. Why we use the flux? What the flux used for? The flux is some substance that we use to reduce the power that we want to heat it. For example, if we don't use a flux to heat the ruby, about, for example, the 1200, the color exchange. When we use the flux, maybe about 800, the color exchange. So we reduce the power, we save the power for you this. The evidence that we found in the flux treatment, yes, of course, it have the flux in the fracture. If you want to more information about the flux treatment, you can visit the website of the LMHC. I'm not sure maybe about the fifth sheet or not. It will explain how about the flux treatment and the level of it. Okay, this one is have another story about the red gas filling. The story of the red gas filling, at the first time that I saw it from the ruby from the Madagascar. And I have a chance to talk with the early sister of the burner about the first one that burned the red gas filling. They live in the north of the Thailand, and they do about the experiment in the northeast of the Thailand. The material, I think, is ruby from the Madagascar. Is very low grade of the ruby, and they want to improve or change the stone that no value to be the more value. They buy the material from the China. After they experiment, they burn it, and no evidence what they use it. No one know, just only them. diffusion. Diffusion is there's some story that when I start to learn about the gemology, I think it's very easy to check it. Just see about the spider web. The color is not even. It's something like this. But when I work as a gemologist, wow, another story. If we found the jewelry that goes back, it's quite difficult because you cannot see the spider web, or is cut in the cabochon style. The diffusion is quite difficult. You must use about the EDXIF, about the advanced instrument, to check about the element, percentage of the titanium or the ion that's common or not. Okay, hit with beryllium. This one is the story for me because I'm work as the gemologist about the 2 years. In the morning of the ordinary day, I'm go through my lab, and my boss is calling, Nat, can you see me? I think what's happened? Maybe I'm check something wrong or not. She give me a letter. It's a warning letter. They're talking about this. It have a new treatment warning, especially for the papalasha. Wow. You know the price of the papalasha, right? It's very high stone, high value stone. At the time I remember I must to check the all stone again. It's not a 1, it's not a 2, it's not a 10, it's 1,000 of the stone with methylene iodide to see about the color limb. To see about the color limb. At the first production of the barium, it will show the yellow limb and the middle is a pink one. So when we mix it between the pink and the yellow, we show the color like a papalasha. At that time, we don't know that about the inclusion is happening like this. Is have the blue halo? No. The first product is already have about the recrystallization of the crystal, I mean the internal crystal inside. And I thought, oh, okay, maybe a new origin of the papalasha. But no, it's new treatment. Anyone can you to see this picture before? This picture is some evidence of the hitting with the high temperature. I used some technique to take about a photo of it. I used a polarized filter to cross-polarize and check it is have the recrystallization on surface or not. When you cross-polarize and check it and turn the filter 0 degree to 90 degree, the area of the recrystallization area will bring different from the host. So if you found something like this, it means this stone is part of the high temperature heating, but not say it have the barium. No, it's another story. Why I say that? Because the high temperature treatment can be used the barium or not. It depends on the burner. But normally for the heat with the barium, they use the high temperature. So that why if I found something like this, I think maybe is heating with the barium. Okay, for the dye. This one is dye, a black opal have passed a treatment. It's have a two kind for treatment in the black opal. The first one is a sugar treatment. The second one is smoke. For the sugar treatment, they use the sugar solution and turn it to be something right about the carbonylize by heat or use the sulfuric acids to turn this right about the carbon. So it's have the coloration of the black color in the fracture. And the smoke is why we go to Texas and eat the steak that part the smoke. Let's chain the steak to the opal and smoke it. The carbon from the smoke will fill in the fracture. It will show about the back coloration. Yes, this one is jadeite or fei shui. They can dry it, the green color, and another one, not only about the green color can be used. They use the brown color also in the fracture. Okay. This one is another technique that I'm used with the microscope. You must have the camera. You have to have the microscope and the UV long wave lamp. I'm taking photo by using the camera, not your eyes, only your eyes, because the UV radiation can be harmful with our eyes. You will see about the difference of the color in the fracture because the polymer or the resin or something that filling the fracture can be fluorescent. Okay, for the fracture filling, in the emerald, we found the resin, or in the trade, we use the opticon. It's some kind of the resin that can be
and other kind of the spectral techniques. And sometimes we use the microscopic data, but the limitation of this one is everyone know already that the photo we take from even the iPhone is the many megapixel, right? So this one is maybe not appropriate for the training the machine learning model because you have to take more time. Maybe okay, it means our computer, personal computer, cannot do that because the machine learning will learn from your pixel by pixel. If you okay, let's.
It means it's happen the million of the pixels. The machine learning must to know one by one pixels. So that's why it's beyond process.
Yep. Think of the ChatGPT. ChatGPT is trained on the data that quite enormous, right? And the computer that runs ChatGPT is using the GPU or the graphic units up to 100 or 200, something like that. I'm not sure. So for just my computer that has the both GPU, one GPU unit, how can be? It's not possible, right? Yeah. This is the big limitation. If you want to use the imaging, like the inclusions or the real image of the gemstone to predict the result from the machine learning right now. So we will use other things such as the elemental, but elemental is provide you only the origins. Yep, by the elemental fingerprints. Okay. And currently we also work on the how to separate the spatial color which amongst pigeon bud ruby, royal blue sapphires, and papyrus sapphires. But this one also challenging right now because we all know that even labs that have the robust process to determine this kind of color are inconsistent determination. So it means we don't believe it so much. So it's quite some time to learn this kind of model. So we will talk the next one that is deep in the application we now use in the lab.
The first one?
The first one is the heat treatment determination, especially for the metamorphic sapphires.
Yeah, we think about only about the metamorphic sapphire first. Okay. When we're talking about the heat treatment in the sapphires, we use the FTIR, the spectrum it will show us it heated or not. Okay. How we know? 3309 series, I mean the series of the 3309 is an answer. This one is heat or unheat.
Okay, before we go to next slide, everyone may know this kind of spectra looks difficult to, okay, it means the gemologist can know what is it. But for the others, how about? It's quite hard to separate or determine which in, right? So the machining have to fill this gap because some of the process can turn the data to the something more visualized to the human can see. So let us start with something.
Yes, of course. It's like a game for the gemologists. What do you think about this stone? Is heat or unheat? With the inclusion and the spectrum with the FTIR. Yeah?
Yes, just inclusion only.
Only inclusion?
Can you guess?
No heat. No heat. Why no heat? Yes, of course. It's no heat. I'm about to say not only about the inclusion, the spectrum also. I'm not seeing the 2209 silly. This one is 2209, right? But it's not sure the T2T2. Sir, in my idea, yes. I guess is unheated. And the inclusion is very clear. It's not the evidence of the heated stone. Sir, this one, yes, of course, is unheated. How about this one? A two-phase inclusion. The spectrum of the FTI is shown only about the 2209. No T2T2. It's just a scheme. It's not for the test. No, don't see me of it. This one is heated. It's a heated stone.
But it's just because it have no 3232 in the FTR spectra?
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Why I say it's heated? Because I know the whole of the stone. I'm not seeing only about the inclusion and the spectrum and confidence. This one is heated. I'm to see the whole one, the whole thing. How about this one? Yeah, same spectrum of the FTR. So we only about the 2209. This one is also unheated. Yep. The inclusion. I think this one is the negative crystal. Yeah. If I not show the evidence of the heated. Yeah. How about this one? It's not show the T209 anymore, but it show T160. This one is quite difficult because this peak is shown for the heated if we heat below 600 Celsius.
So it means this one will be heated or non-heated?
Unheated, yes.
Unheated. This is because of 310, 60, right?
Yes, right. But this one is also the challenge one. We found the evidence for this spectrum, but you want to see about the inclusion also.
Okay.
How about this one? Yep. I think it's quite easy. It's because the spectrum of the FTR is shown 2209 and 32T2. And the inclusion show the color banding. This one heated. Yes.
Yeah.
This one is quite easy because the inclusion, but I want you to see the spectrum of it. If we can show the T2T2 longer than T309, that are evidence of the synthetic one. And yes, of course, the inclusion It's no doubt, it's a synthetic one. Yeah.
All of things we talk is we try to learn from the data. That is will be indications when you work with them, because we can see a lot of the same pattern in many of gemstones. So what the data are telling us? They have more things to telling us, right? So we put all of data to machine learning to learn the pattern, and why we don't focus on just the advanced instrument and visual observations, because it takes time so much, right? Especially when we found these circumstances, when the peak that indicate the heat treatment status is very, very low. So how can be? Because you will see the peak at 3232 is very thin, right? And this one may be a bit confusing, especially when you use the instrument that have low resolutions. I am quite sure that every FTR has the enough resolution to identify all gemstone, but we don't want to wait so long. So we use the enough parameter that can just enough information, that's it. So we don't want to take more time for this process. So that's why we turn every data, we forget maybe a part the case and try to put everything into the machine learning to separate these patterns.
And sometimes maybe a human error.
Yep.
Human error.
Because at not say, because we may take up the testing stem zone up to 100 stone per day. That is quite so tired, right? So of course we want to ensure that every gemstone we treatment is 100% correct. And how can we avoid the problem that we misclassify or misidentify the stone we overlook? Okay, I will show you some of the data I have correct and try to process everything. You can see a group of many data. This is the FTR spectra of sapphires from metamorphic deposits only, not magnetics. So we will see a kind of many colors. Each color stands for one characteristic. And what it can help you? Because we know that the data will fall in some certain location, so we can use it to help which one will belong to the original group. But this is just a visualization, because I display you only the 3 dimensions. So human, we can know only the 3 dimensions. This is the limitation of our eye or our brain. But machine learning will see as much as they can, 100, 1,000, 1,000,000 at the same time, with a shot of the positions. So it's quite amazing, right? Okay, let me back to the. Okay, everyone will know a bit about the machine learning already, but the thing that we have to ensure that the machine learning model will work well with it is the metrics like accuracy, the precision, and the recall. And this all metric, like you want to know, because if some of one cannot provide you with the high value enough, the model will be the problem. Let's say if the model, if my model is the low precision, it means that they will not tell the true answer because the precision is very low. This is kind of the metrics we use for the evaluate the model is high performance or the low performance. So it's okay. I have to accept it is quite the technical term. Okay. But at the previously of the plotting that 3 dimensions, we showed all of things in 3 dimensions, right? So I try to translate in 2 dimensions. This one, you will see on the left-hand side is the contour line of each color. This provides you a possibility percentage of each predictions. Let's say if my sample for in the blue one on the right-hand side, it may belong to the sample in that group. In this data is the others. Other is mean any others other than that I try to grouping. And on the right hand side, you will see the black dot and the less cross sign. What is the difference? The difference is the black dot is something that machine learning will know exact the answer in high confidence. For the less cost side, you will see it's also fall in the area that the trained data belong, but the machine learning has the low confidence because this only show you with the 2 dimensions, not any dimension we not see. So it can imply that this prediction is not sure at all. So you have to ask for the expert review. Let me show you some case we used in the lab. This is like a model predictions that show the probability or possibility machine learning try to predict in the group of the test stone. Okay, next we explain you about this.
Okay. When I'm start the work, I'm seeing this skin. I will check about this one is have the too old. To check about the status of it.
You will see the status in the second column, right?
Here?
The second column will tell you the machine learning, how sure it is.
Yeah.
When, because I code the machine learning to learn which one is out of distribution of my data. So if which one out of the distribution, say will have show low confidence. And this one we will know is have to double check. But for that one have been in distribution, it can ensure that the machine learning will predict this one correctly. Again, this one is just a probability, not the 100% certainty, because machine learning learn from your data, not the global, not everything. So they know just only the data you put in the machine model. Okay. So from I talk, lastly, if you are not have enough information to teach the machine learning model, they will have low confidence to decide what answer it is. So this is the limitations of the machine learning. Okay, so can be shown by the orange line. That is when they have more data sample high enough, the confidence will be also high. That's it. And this is the real operations in our lab, and how we use in the lab. Not.
So now, the first thing that it must be metamorphic sapphire first, not magmatic. As we know, the magmatic one is quite very difficult. With about the spectrum, with about the inclusion. So now, after it's past the advanced instrument, I see about the status of it. Okay. Probability. How about it? This one. 2309 and T2T2. 77.
You will see the probability percent of the
Right here.
machine learning try to answer your result.
Sir, the
Yep.
status.
But you will see that it's not 100% because you train many kind of data to the model, not only one. So if which one have the high percentage, it means the data trained to be collected. And of course, if the metamorphic sapphire match with the FTR result, the result will be automatically generated as the indication of heating. So it means we run the stone as, let's say, for example, 9 stone, 6 of 9 stone, and 6 of 9 have the high confidence. So you can set time 18 minutes. This one is just for your example to know how we set the time when we use the machine learning.
For the sapphire.
For the mathematics sapphire. Because let's say we have to carefully investigate the characteristic of the sapphire, maybe at least 3 minutes per stone. But with machine learning, below a minute or less. This is just in the case of magnetic sapphire only. I don't think it's impact much more than others that will be present next. So let me explain you why. The impactful method that we use very much.
It's an emerald.
It's emerald.
Yeah.
Because emerald, as you know, we have to identify for the filler, right? It is natural, it is the oil or the resin fill, right? So sometimes it's quite very hard to observe in every angle or every direction. But with machine learning, we learn this is very amazing way.
Yeah.
So, but you know, emerald have many challenges, such as
For the filling, the resin, oil, and sometimes the inclusion of it is quite a lot of inclusion. So the direction of the when you use about the FTR is quite really difficult. So I will show this one. From my experience, if we want to see about the oil filling, in the emerald, I try to found the orange flash in the fracture, but indeed, why is a fracture? No, I cannot see the fracture. And another thing, the flash will happen if the light is go to the right direction. So that's why it's quite difficult.
Yep.
And sometimes, yes, of course, I found it, the fracture, but I cannot use the fiber optic to see if have an orange flash or not. And then another thing, the spectrum of the FTIR sometimes is very confused because the number of the spectrum is close between the resin and the oil. Why we must to separate the oil and the resin in the emerald? Yes, the pricing. And another thing, the resin, it have some problem. What do you think? Is that a problem? Or the emerald or not? No, if your juice is non-touch about the heat, don't touch everything, yes, of course, it's okay. And the oil, yeah, sometimes the oil can dry out. It's coming out. But it can refill it. But the resin cannot. That's why we must to separate the oil and the resin in the emerald.
From this slide, you will see the spectra of the FTR that we use to determine the type of filler in the emerald. But you will see just only three types. But in there actually, we have, let's say, one oil can be divided to the many things, such as paraffin, such as baby oil. Yes, and even for the resins, Opticon is a brand of some
resin.
Yep, but you may see other brand that with the such as Excel, something like that.
Excel resin.
Yep. So this kind of spectra just stand for the oil resin or no oil only. But it not mean any. So I put every spectra, every data, and try to find average of them. It is the kind of the method we do. Okay. So from that's one, we have three groups of the data: no oil, oiling, and resins in the right-hand side. Okay, and we have all three groups that have been clear separations. So that is why our model have high accuracy to determine the emerald that have been treated with the resin or oiling. And I will show you with this one, because as I tell, this one is the very impactful, because when you have to determine it is oil or not, you have takes more time like to determine the heat treatment status in sapphire, right? But it's quite another story, because to determine the oil in the fracture filling in emerald rely on the FTIR so much. It means if you just correct for the three dimensions or three directions in many ways, when you test with FTIR, you can get more of data, right? And which points show you with the evidence, computer or machine learning will know before you. let's say if I have the many gemstones a day, let's say 60, 600, 6,000, this process is very impactful because I test it with our emerald that we already know what is it, oiling, resin, or natural. And we run it with the 60 samples per one test, and they can provide the answer within a minute. That is very fast, right? Yep. Of course. Every emerald sample test with the FTR with 3 directions. So it can ensure that cover all of the direction of the oil or resin may fill in the fractures. So what is the impact approach that I mean? Normally, we have to test every emerald sample, let's say at 3 minutes per stone. But this one have set the time at 2 hours and a half. How do you think is it? That is the power of the machine learning. I won't say it is the actual replacement for our law, but I found it is useful when we know which one it can test by any techniques like this one, because we know FTR will provide the true answer or the high possibility answer. But even it is the powerful way, the other gemstone that will not pass this approach, like 10 of 60 will be asked you for your careful review. But anyhow, you can set time up to 115 minutes. That's amazing, right? Yeah. Okay. This is like the real app operation we use in the lab, because we don't want to rely only the machine learning predictions, because we don't want the machine learning replace, and I don't want to no job to do. So I will go for checking everything together with the machine learning by see the spectra for every sample that pass to my eye. It's important because you don't want it to not pass to your eye, right? So I just coding the application that I can see the prediction result together with the spectra for each gemstone. Okay, this is the way we do.
Yep.
We done. We have another maybe 2 more cases using the machine learning.
Yep.
So let us tell you about the dying in
Okay.
in case of
Jade.
jade.
Jade. Yeah. For the jade, of Fei Shui nowadays, it's have a wrong story, and it's have the many story. In the past, we found that the Fei Shui normally dry with about the skin color, but now no anymore. Not only the green color, the black color is also used. Do we whisper? Sometimes it's have some absorption of the undyed jade of the iron and chromium, but for the very white stone.
Okay, let me expand something. Because we try to don't use the very expensive instrument to detect the treatment, right? So some of the techniques, some of instrument maybe have a noisy signal. So how we can beware of it or avoid to take this to the machine learning. Because when the noisy signal come to your data, it will be overlapping the actual signal. So you have to remove this one out of your trained data. Otherwise, it will be one of your the decision in the model. Do you understand? Yeah. So it means when you consider the result from the machine learning prediction, you have to see the spectra as I demonstrated earlier. If not, it will be problematic. Yeah. For the Jedi we found, it is like quite in the same situation as the Emerald perform, because they have the separate the characteristic. So if the data have the good boundary, so the machining will can be clear separation. So everything will be going fast and well separate. Yeah, this is a 3D visualization of the data that is used to train the Jedi model for dry or not dry. And yes, of course, the metrics that we want to ensure the model is perform well and it exceeds 90%. So the model have been performed very well. So I will skip the dyeing in jet. The problem is this. We have one of the treatment that used in Jedi, that is the polymer impregnation.
Yes, the polymer impregnation. Sometimes with the microscope and UV long wave lamp, yes, sometimes it can help us to see the evidence of it. But I'm just to find that something is very difficult because that's only the small thing inside the fracture, and the spectrum is not good enough. Not sure it's the polymer or not. It's quite challenge for us, and the result of it is quite really, really difficult on it.
Because for the emerald, the F3R in metamorphic sapphire, as well as the dye in Jedi, have the clear data when they want to separate. But for the Fei Shui or Jedi that have been impregnated, you can see the same pattern of the spectra between the one that no impregnation and the one that with impregnation in the same pattern but different in the intensity. So how we can separate the level of them? That's why on the live photo, the live image, you will see the data not clearly separate. You will see just only circle. Try to group only one, even it is the two group of data. So I am meaning that the machine learning will be
If we have the more information or the data to machine learning, the result is be good, or we must to find about the logarithm to do something.
For me, the algorithm will will be the answer, of course. But as I said, because the pattern of no impregnation and impregnation is different only the intensity of the spectra. So how we can use which point to separate? This is the questions I try to find the resolve. Try to answer. So, okay, machining will be the answer in almost questions, but it's not for the all questions. So I emphasize that don't rely in every situation or everything. So you have to careful when you use with this, as us that work in the lab, because we don't rely everything from them. As you can see, the data that we try to separate between these two patterns quite overlap, right? So even our eye can see this one is the overlap data. Computer also seen this overlap data as well. So it means if you want this kind of the model can work well to separate amongst these, you have to provide more question or some criterion to let them know. Like a number of sample, because I just train on the 100 of sample per class, impregnation and non-impregnation. So I want to improve about this. So I had to accept that this is quite the improvable area of the machine learning. Even you see that the metrics or the performance of model is more than 90%. But in the reality, when we use the data for the prediction, you see almost all sample is low confidence by the less cost signal, less cost side. So it means machining will have low confidence for predicting this kind of the treatment. Like this one, you will see the out of distribution in almost all the sample. So if the model is not get the good enough answer, so you have to avoid it. Like this one, we don't want to take more time on this because we only use it when we not sure about the answer. So from 3 of the 20 have passed the process. It means only 3 of the 20 sample is the green, right? So for this one, I think we use the traditional method. Is better. Yeah.
Right. You say the machine learning is not the answer of every question. Yeah. Is sometimes, the human is the answer.
Yeah. So we gonna wrap up everything because everything we say is machining can deliver the level precision in detecting the hidden gem treatment you can see by the naked eye or even under the microscopic feature. So if you have high quality enough data, it means the stronger accuracy and trustworthy confidence. Visualization in any dimension that human can see is only 3. So it means above that we cannot. But computer or machining can see as much as they can. And of course, machine learning will rely on your trained data only. So it's not a global classification. You don't want to take the cashmere sapphire and predict as the Sirikit sapphire at all, right? Because it's a big problem. And of course, everything is just the low confidence or high confidence, because it will help you so much to not take more time on the stone that we already know the answer. And this one will be used as the flags out of the distribution sample, so we can know which one pass or not pass. So I will summarize that the benefits of the machine learning.
Okay. First, it's why I say the machine learning as my partner is not replace me. It's right about the digital gemologists. Another thing, the machine learning, no bias. It's very important for the gemologists. Sometimes if but the human, okay.
If you want this stone to be unheated, give me 10,000 USD
Okay,
dollar.
and the Myanmar, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But the machining will not,
No.
because they use the logic and
Yeah.
the algorithm to decide the result.
Another thing, the human error. Yeah. The machine learning is not tried. They can do everything. And another thing that can say many times, I think the direction that the machine learning see the human only about the 2 dimension or the 3 dimension. But the machine learning can be seen more. So that's why I think machine learning will help us.
And of course, as I said, for all intake TH, the time will you take to testing the gemstone will be reduced from hours to a minutes. This is quite impactful. And your time to confirm the result will be reduced as well. Maybe 50 to 70%, it depends on the kind of treatment you try to find. And of course, the dispute rate. If the answer not matched with our decision, the machining will be provide the clue how they predict. And the last thing is we get the result that's more accurate and reliable. But please be advised. The machining did still not tell you about the actual answer. You have to be aware about their limitations. So I think every machine learning model in the world, in the medical industry also, say the probability with threshold confidence, not the actual answer. Like we diagnose the patient in the hospital, something like that. And we found that machining can augment us only, it still cannot replace the gemologist in the real world. Even in the emerald case that we quite confident with the result, it cannot replace us. Because sometimes I and not try to separate between oil and resin up to 200 or 300 stone a day. Machining can run very fast, right? But process of to test or analyze is by human, not the machine itself. So you have to use the analyst or gemologist to test the test your gemstone, not the machine put it automatically. Yes. So machine learning extend the gemological conclusion we can have more confidence, we can have more reliability, and have more the power. But I think the expertise, the expert, remain essential. Even the machine come to in our industry for 5 or 6 years already, but it cannot. We have to remain the gemologist in every process. So we call it is as a human in the loop. So it's like you always use the expert, try to control or overlook all procedures. So for the future works, we try to expand all of data to cover all of things we found in the lab, and try to use the other active learning, because you don't want to train or input every data frequently, let's say every month. So I will try to make the machine learning learn itself when they find something new with the data. And I try to use all of the instruments we know, such as FTR, UV alarm, in every process that we can. So I think it's gonna be the. I don't think it's a new for our industry, but everyone try to improve the idea and try to apply every possible method for making our industry better. And the last actually is machine learning work based on the what it know. So if your sample or your data not contained in the trained data, it cannot predict correctly. Okay, I come to thank you for your attention. Okay,
Yes.
that's it.
That's it.
Okay, if you have some quick query or questions, anyone?
Okay, you can add a line for our lab. We try to be the small but smart. Yeah.
Actually, our lab is quite our of us not new to the industry, but our lab is quite new. We open for just 3 years, and our aspect is try to work with our companies and as well for the public. So I think in the near future we will have another office at Silom Road. So I think you will be interested to visit us. Okay.
Anyone has some questions? Oh yes, please.
My name is Joker Francis from Abuja, Nigeria. My question is, what is FITR, the acronym? A little more elaboration on that, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
The FTIR is the instrument that use the infrared and to see about the absorption of the infrared in the stone that can be detect about the polymer or the something that we want to know. For the example, if I want to separate the oil and the resin in the emerald, the F3IR can be separated. If I want to know the heat treatment in the ruby, yes, of course, FTIR can be separated also. It's the instrument. Welcome.
Thank you for your questions. Any questions?
Like you test gemstone with the microscope. The microscope can provide you the internal feature, right? But FTIR will provide you with the spectrum. Yes, and you have to interpret what is it. Yes, and every gemstone will have a special characteristic. So we have to know what is it and how we can separate each one. Okay.
Any questions? All right, by the way, if you know questions, so please give a big round of applause for our speakers for today.
And can you check this one? It's mine. It's a natural one. You check it. No, the machine learning. No, I don't know. I don't know you. But the human, okay.
If you want this stone to be unheated, give me 10,000 USD
Okay,
dollar.
and the Myanmar, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But the machining will not
No.
because they use the logic